Hey guys, today I'm filming a review of A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is going to be full of spoilers, so in case you haven't read the book yet, go read it and then come back, okay? And we'll discuss it together. So I'm assuming here that you know ACOTAR, so I'm not going to go back into that. But A Court of Mist and Fury starts off 3 months after ACOTAR finishes, and we are back at the Spring Court, where Tamlin is trying to set things right, and Feyre is being excluded and not too happy about any of that. Eventually Rhysand comes and demands that she start spending a week every month at Night Court. Once there, she starts learning about the potential fate of Prythian and the threat of war that is looming. So now we're just going to jump right in. I have to say that in book 1 I didn't care for Feyre very much, but after the character development that she experienced here, I say I really love her. I think she's a fabulous character now, and I'm really happy for her. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's totally true. Now the Feyre we meet at the beginning of Court of Mist and Fury is a wreck. She should be happy because she's engaged to Tamlin, they're to be married soon, but instead she's suffering from PTSD, I would say. She's throwing up, she's having nightmares, she's feeling depressed and really bad about her role in the events of Under the Mountain. She's feeling bad and evil because she had to kill innocent fairies to set Tamlin and the rest of the fairy realms free from Amarantha. And yeah, she's in a terrible, terrible place. So I guess given the state she's in, it's no wonder that she's acting really indifferent at the beginning. She's letting Tamlin and High Priestess Iantha make all the decisions for her. I mean, the High Priestess is picking her wedding dress. Tamlin is, you know, doing his stuff, not really caring what's happening to her. So she's all alone and she has nobody to talk to, and nobody seems to care that she's in this terrible, terrible state. And even when she does show interest in something, they just, you know, just shut her down, and, you know, she should be happy being a housewife and just never leaving the house again because she's done enough for Prythian. She's done enough, and now she should just rest and enjoy her, I don't know what, freedom, prison, I don't know what. She desperately needs someone to talk to, but Tamlin is busy setting things right in his spring court. Iantha has obviously her own agenda and is not really her friend, even though she sort of pretends to be. Lucian is just a puppet, and he does everything that Tamlin tells him, and it's not really there for Feyre, even though he, you know, kind of acts like he wants to be, but, well, in reality he's not, so, you know, he doesn't count. In book 1 I didn't dislike Tamlin. I thought we actually didn't get to know him very well because he's all, you know, secretive, and he's supposedly trying to, well, keep his court as safe as he can. But we never actually see him do anything. I think he's a very passive character. He's always reacting but never acting. The only action that he ever took was sending his friend, you know, over the wall so Feyre killed him, and then he was all, you know, righteous and brought her to fairyland. But aside from that, he's always passive. He only reacts to other people's actions, and even when we see him under the mountain, he's just there, resigned to his fate. He doesn't do anything. He just sits by Amarantha and just, you know, waits for whatever to happen. And even, you know, when he sees Feyre fighting for him, he doesn't do anything. And even that one time when he actually gets to talk to her, he wants to have sex with her, not support her or give her any advice or anything. He's a protector though, and even in book 1 we see that he's trying to save his court. And now that the threat of Amarantha is over, he's in an overdrive. He just, well, he's fixing his court, but as far as Feyre is concerned, she is, you know, she's to be protected above and beyond. She is not to leave the house, nothing is to happen to her because she's suffered enough, and she's like this trophy wife or something like that. I don't know, it seems like he sees her like that, and it's not who she is. And, you know, he's supposed to love her and he knows nothing about her, and, you know, it's just, annoying. What I find even more surprising is that he doesn't even acknowledge what's going on with her. He sleeps in the same bed every night with her, and he never mentions her having nightmares or throwing up. It's just completely ignored, which is, if you love someone, you should show some interest in them, you know, just expect them to do whatever you want them to do and forget about them the rest of the time. So when Rhys shows up and demands that she has to spend 1 week every month with him at night court, this is what he gets, a wreck. And he doesn't push or prod at the beginning, but he does make certain demands of her, and of course they're part of his agenda as well, but it's also for her own good. He wants her to learn how to read, which is something, you know, everyone should know how to do, because it's useful. And he also wants her to explore her newfound powers, because when she was resurrected by the High Lords of Prythian, she got some of their powers, and while Tamlin doesn't allow her to explore that, Rhys is all for that. This situation lasts for a while. She travels between the two courts, and every time she comes back to the Spring Court, Tamlin interrogates her about the Night Court and so on. But during this time, Feyre does start healing, and she, you know, wants to be more useful, and she starts making demands of Tamlin, you know, about helping him and stuff like that, and he's adamant that no, she will not do that. And actually one time he acts really badly and, you know, destroys the whole library and stuff like that, so he gets a bit aggressive there. But the tipping point for Feyre is the moment when he actually locks her up in the house and she cannot leave, and then that's the moment where she freaks out, and Rhys and Moore from the Night Court come and save her. After that, she has no desire to go back to Spring Court, even though she, you know, the man she loves is there. And she starts spending her time at Night Court, and she starts healing, which is awesome. Now, while Rhys played a minor part in ACOTAR, he was interesting from the moment he appeared on the scene, if you ask me. At the beginning of this book, though, I was worried that he was just going to use her, that he has his own agenda, and he's really, you know, just a bad guy. And I was so happy that, you know, this was not the case, because I really love him as a character. He's, apart from perfect, he can be a total asshole, but he's just what she needs in this situation, and they just fit so well together, and I love it. So I really like how Rhys doesn't cuddle her, he respects her, he believes in her, and he pushes and demands, and he knows that she's not fragile and she will not break. He actually gives her exactly what she needs. I really liked how, you know, for the course of the book, their relationship developed. They fit, and which is logical since they're mates. Which was, when I read it, I was so, oh my god, that's so amazing. And I kind of, you know, understand both of their reactions. She being outraged that he didn't tell her, and, you know, she's been lied to for a lot. And so, you know, she has reason to be suspicious. And on the other side, you know, he had no reason to tell her because she hated him, or he thought she hated him. And you know, he didn't know. I mean, and he didn't think that she's in, you know, in a state when she needed to hear that, and he didn't know that their relationship actually was ever going to progress. So it would be really weird if, you know, he just came out and told her, well, they were under the mountain. It would be weird. And she would just slap him or something like that and ignore him, and, you know. And what would be the point? She was with Tamlin anyway, so. We also get to meet Rhys's inner circle, which is Cassian, Azriel, Amren, and more. They're all very different characters, but also interesting, and they all have this interesting backstories, and they're so much fun to read, and you just want to be a part of that circle. And Feyre fits just right in, you know. She's yeah, perfect with their group. We also get to see more of Feyre's sisters. They're, you know, at least Nesta is as annoying as before, but they play quite a huge part in this book. And well, the ending was interesting, and I just can't wait to see what happens in the next one. As for settings, we get to explore a lot more of Prythian. As you know, in ACOTAR we only saw the Spring Court and Under the Mountain, but here we get to explore the Night Court with, you know, both parts, like the Court of Dreams and the Court of Nightmares. But, you know, obviously Court of Nightmares is a nightmare, and Court of Dreams is this fantastical world, and, you know, you see Velaris, the City of Starlight, and just to imagine what Rhys went through to protect that city, it's amazing, you know. So it's I loved it, and the Illyrian warriors and the mountains they live in. It's not a society I would want to be part of, but still, I imagine they're quite interesting and fascinating, actually. And then we go to the summer court, which sounds like a dream. You know, I can just imagine this Italian town with the turquoise sea, and the cobbled streets, and this soft warm breeze, and the sun, of course. I think it would be magical. Well, the island of Hybern, we just, you know, the time we spend there is not that nice, so I don't have a really great opinion of it, obviously, so who would? Now, the ending blew me away. I actually couldn't believe how crazy Tamlin was. He's a freaking idiot. I mean, seriously, who does that? Make a deal with this king of Hybern when you obviously know he has an agenda behind it, and all because you want Farah back when she obviously told you that she doesn't want to be with you no more. Really, I have no words. At least not, you know, nice words for Tamlin at all. You know, when she asks the king of Hybern to break their bond, you know, the bond between her and Rhys, I was so shocked, and I was, oh, you know, I thought they were not going to be mates anymore. And there was this great relationship, and I had no idea what breaking that bond would mean. Because what, they would be strangers? Would there be no more attraction? Would they not love each other anymore? What was that going to mean? And then to find out that actually, you know, he just broke the bargain bond, and they actually had this ceremony, and that Rhys made her his high lady, when, you know, Tamlin in the beginning of the book told her that there's no such thing as a high lady. And, you know, to see that that bond is still there and still strong, it just, oh, I cried like a baby, which it's normal for me, but still I cried so much. And I loved it so much, and to see her now, and to see her now back at Spring Court, having to deal with Tamlin and his idiocy, I'm not really happy about the situation, because I want her with Rhys, but I know, you know, things have to happen, and I hope they do. And I hope things get well and there's a happy end, hopefully, and I hope she destroys Tamlin. There you go. So, excuse my ramblings, but thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next video. Bye.